Hello and welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and we are playing the Panic Room, and based on the number of rocks in this room right now, I'm actually beginning to panic just a little bit. In the last episode, we had a couple rocks actually land, I think if I remember correctly, kind of in this area here. We had a couple over here. I don't know. Either way, there's rocks kind of falling everywhere, and it just seems to happen to fall in the areas where our guys are. It would be nice if they fell on the enemy, but that's probably not going to happen. I think we're in kind of a safe location, but it's unlikely. I don't think anywhere on this map is safe. We need to get off this tile by round 10, otherwise bad things happen. It says at the end of the 10th round, the end tile is removed from the board. That's its entire tile disappears. The good news is that we are just starting round number 6, as you can see from the round counter. So we still have time, and the bonus is we have to kill, or not kill, but this is considered an obstacle with hit points for this particular scenario. It's considered a locked door as well. We have, based on some crazy equation that Isaac came up with in his special rules, this, in our situation, playing solo with 2 characters and at a scenario level 2, gives us 16 damage in order to take it out. We can't remove it with special cards that say it removes obstacles either. We actually have to put that damage on. So far, based on our previous videos, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 damage thrown onto that particular obstacle. So not bad. We're getting there. We're close. And maybe in this video right now, we can actually make that happen. Blow this door wide open and see what's inside. I don't really know if I'm totally prepared for what I'm about to go through, but we're sure as heck going to try. So we're going to go ahead with this, and we'll go ahead and pick our cards and see what happens, essentially. So at this point, we really just want to do lots of damage. Now, the Tinker's in a perfect spot to do a long-range attack. So like the enhancement field, for instance, is a great card to choose in this case. We can shoot from where we currently stand without issue. The other thing that's really important to think about is healing. We want to be healed up because we know the last couple... Actually, we might as well use a heal card that is low initiative. And we want to do that just strategically because of the fact that there are no enemy... Well, there is one enemy left on the board. I guess we have to worry about that a little bit. But he's kind of out of the way, and unless he gets a long-range shot at us, we should be okay. And I say should. Hopefully things don't get ugly on us, but we should be okay. So what's going to end up happening here is we're going to have to, we've gone ahead and essentially flipped over a card the wrong way. I don't think there's anything else that that we can really do per se with the Tinker in order to make this any better of a situation. I don't know if it'll pan out the way we want it to, but just so you guys are aware as well, the Deep Terror here actually has 2 damage on him right now. He needs 8 to be killed off, so he's just kind of a pest at this point, but we know he's there and he's just going to annoy us. So we'll leave them alone for now and focus on getting out of the room. Now for the Cragheart, we also want to be able to put damage on. Now if we know that the Tinker is going to do a damage 3 based on the card underneath that I chose, 3 plus the 9 that's on there would get it up to 12, so we'd still need 4. The great news is we have an attack 4 card, so this would get us through this would at least help us bust through the door this turn, so that's good. When the door is busted and opened up, then essentially this whole room will spawn with all kinds of craziness at that point. It'll be the middle of the Cragheart's turn, and we're going to have to think really quickly about what we want to do. Do we want to move in? Do we want to attack from range? All that kind of stuff. We got to make those tough decisions. The Cragheart does have a decent... He could be healed for 1 more heal 4. That would be also potentially useful based on, I guess, what could or may or may not happen. I do have on the bottom here a heal 2, so that could be useful. That might be the best thing to do. I have a move 2, heal 1. I have a move 4. Question of the day, is it worth it? Let's see. I think getting in as far as we can is probably a good idea. I think. I'm not really sure. We also have the bot there. Now we also kind of want to think about this, because if I could get the bot in there first, that would be kind of handy as well. So maybe having the Tinker do the killing blow would be the best. If I can make my Cragheart go after the Tinker, maybe that's what we want. I'm kind of asking these questions in my mind out loud because I'm not even sure, but let's do this. Let's do 38. It'll give us the ability to heal and attack from range. This one's a 37. That gives us a decent spread. And let's see what happens with the Deep Terrors. Okay, so we got a 65, so that's good. They're going to go late. When they do go ahead and decide to attack us, they got an attack range of 3, a target of 3, and they curse. So they're not actually going to swear at us. They just are going to curse us. But you can tell here 1, 2, 3 would be just enough to hit the Tinker. So the good news is they're going late enough that we should be at a range. And this guy should no longer be causing us too much trouble, I hope. We also want to get a line of sight of him so he doesn't do anything nasty to us. So let's go ahead with our Tinker here, pick our 2 cards and get going. So we got 2, and we're going to go and with our original plan. And that was to... well, actually, now that I think about this, I might have grabbed the wrong cards because I think I was thinking I was going to use 1 at top and 1 bottom. And I think I ended up flipping that around wrong. But at least I got some movement, and we have our... I'd rather get into the room rather than heal at this point, even though that sounds crazy. We also have to remember we have the Cloak of Invisibility, which will help us not be targeted later on. So we have, we should have a way to be able to get ourselves deeper into this room. I hope. We'll see how it goes. So let's do our attack 3. We're going against the rock. There's obviously nothing to worry about in terms of disadvantage there. So +1, nice. So we got the boost there. So his enhancement field from range ended up doing 4 damage. So we'll just put a 5 on him, but it will take 1 off. So now this door has a total of 13 damage on it. So that's pretty good. This card is now discarded and used fully. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the bottom here for a default move 2. But we're also going to, well, I guess, sorry, we're not going to do that. And this is kind of where maybe my plan of using the heal was poor because it's on the bottom. I picked, essentially what I did poorly there was I picked 2 top abilities and confused them. I was thinking I could use one or the other. So really now at this point, I don't really have much I could do. What's kind of nasty about this is that this guy's going to hit me. So the Deep Terror is going to cause me some grief, and that's kind of going to be painful because there's nothing really I can do about it. I have some movement that I can generate, but the furthest I could move would be like to go to here. I'd still be within 3 range, so I'd still get cursed. And I can't go anywhere else. I can't get out of here anywhere, and I can't, there's nowhere I can go that's going to help me out there. So I might as well just stay put, sadly, and essentially just burn this card and discard it, not use it. So that really didn't work out as planned, for sure. One thing I will do, though, to be ready for the next turn is I'm going to use my minor stamina potion during my turn to recover up to 2 of your discarded cards. So I'm going to do that now. It's going to allow me to pull these 2 cards back into my hand. So that way I don't have to do a short rest and lose any. So this is kind of saving me the turn that I just took to do some extra damage to the rock. The other thing that I'm thinking about doing potentially is going invisible, because if I go invisible, I can avoid the curse, and maybe that'll help me out going into the next room. So let's do that. I'd rather not get cursed. We'll see what happens in the next room. It's going to be quite interesting. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Cloak of Invisibility. We are going to put the Tinker into the shadows so that this guy cannot focus on us and keep us safe. So that's good. We'll be able to take advantage of that, hopefully. And that's it. So now we'll go to the Cry card. And just so you guys are aware too, sorry, I forgot completely about the Tinker's Summon. So I played that. I got a little excited there and I played the Tinker's cards first. Now, just so you guys are aware, I know this, and you guys know this. In all cases, when the Tinker goes and he has a summon character on the board, the summon character is supposed to go first. So this is just a little goof on my part. Good thing is that we're just fighting a rock, so it's not going to mean much in the end. What I could do in order to ensure the attack cards were pulled correctly, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because they're clean. They're going to be clean hits either way. So this one is going to be an attack 2 from my summoned battle bot, or dangerous contraption as it's considered. And I'm gonna go ahead and do an attack. It's attack 2 with a 0, so we get 2 damage and literally just a damage shy of busting it open now. So it's too bad we weren't able to get it completely busted open on the Tinker's turn, but so be it. And so after the summon attack, now the Tinker would have gone, that kind of thing. So I just did them in reverse order. I apologize that was done in error, but hey, I caught it. So I got a little excited, you know. I just saw those nice cards for the Tinker and I just wanted to use them right away. So we're going to move into the Craigart's turn, who is next and had a 38 for his initiative, which is still higher than the Deep Terror, or lower I should say. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our attack because we need to break this thing open. Now, I'm starting to think that using this may not be a good idea. And the reason for that is if I end up pulling this card... let me think about this. I mean, it's overkill. That's the problem with this thing. I also have my minor stamina potion. So you know what? Let's just do it. I'm going to do a heal 2. So I'm going to allow myself, my Craiggard, to heal myself up to 12. So that's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a move 1, which I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just going to stay put. And then I'm going to attack it for 4, which is way, way, way overkill. -1 is 3. That is enough, guys. We've done it. So both of these cards are discarded now. So that rock now has taken 16 damage total, has been totally destroyed, and as per the rules, this tile is removed, and a new corridor tile is there as the room is now revealed. And now that the room is revealed, some actual story text takes place because we were able to destroy that particular crystal there. And so it says here, you break through the boulder. As the cavern collapses around you, you are able to move on, but you are not yet out of danger. And Barty is nowhere to be found. Special rules. At the end of the 11th round, hexes 1 and B have obstacles placed in them with the same consequences as in the previous room. At the end of each subsequent round, 3 more obstacles are placed in the 3 hexes directly to the right of where they were placed in the previous... Wow, that's bloody confusing wording. Let me see here. So let me just make sure I completely understand that, because that's a little different than anything I think I've seen before. So where is 1 and B? Let's take a look here. So 1 and B. Oh, okay. So it's just essentially here and here. So if we're basically stuck here... what's going to end up happening is at the end of the 11th round, obstacle's going to drop there, have the same consequences in the previous room, which is bad, trap damage, double. At the end of each subsequent round, past the 11th round, 3 more obstacles are placed in the 3 hexes directly to the right of where they were placed in the previous round. Oh my gosh. Okay, so from what I'm understanding is it just, basically it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the rocks are basically just falling and falling and falling and just basically blowing out the wall kind of thing as it goes along. It seems like it just continues. So basically it's a punishing system of like, get the heck out before the round counter gets to 11. So it says at the end of the 11th round that happens. At the end of the 10th round, this whole tile is going to disappear. We're still in the clear for that. We're still okay. We still have time. But I'm assuming this is not going to be easy regardless. So... let's get to the next step, which is going to be populating the board with enemies. So we have quite a few of these nasty guys coming back into play. So we're going to have one guy who's here. There are 4 in. Then another guy here. We're going to have another one here. And we need 1 more. And I don't know if I actually have him out in handy. That's too bad, actually. So that's going to make things a little bit painful. So sorry, guys. I'm going to do a quick little... grab here as I try to find this particular guy. Oh yeah, he's buried in the box here. I guess this is a good time actually while I'm doing this to show you guys kind of what I've got set up for my Gloomhaven storage kit. But as of right now, this is essentially what I've got. It works pretty well. So essentially I've just kind of, all the way along this entire campaign, I've used this this system in order to make it easy to get into whichever monsters I need to and have everything all separated and organized in a decent way. So besides blowing all my cards over. All right, I'm gonna have to double check on that one because I just knocked that tracker. So I'm gonna check where the heck that tracker was at the end of the last game because I just bumped the card and now I don't know where it is. So I gotta double check to see if that's in the top row still or in the bottom row. It definitely moved. So we're gonna go ahead and put this last guy into play. So I'll steal a base off him. Now these guys are all regular units based on this particular one. So sorry again guys that I have to do this while you're watching. For now, there's pressure plates everywhere as well. So I also have to put out these particular things, and these are actually really, really cool. I shouldn't say they're cool. They're not pressure plates. They're actually considered poison and damage traps. Oh, good. So they're pleasant. So they're going to be like here and here. Oh gosh, wait. That's not right at all. How many of these things are there? There's going to be one here. These look nasty. There's going to be one here. They obviously don't want us to escape this room. There's another set here. I think it's in between. Yep. And then another one right here. Wow, this is going to get really congested. So I can see what Isaac's saying, and like, good luck getting to the other side. Our goal is to get into one of these 5 positions. As you can see, this is not going to be easy. Now we've got everything all set up, so I can go ahead and close this up. And usually I do this off camera, guys, so I do apologize for that pain and suffering I just put you through. So what has happened now is that we've revealed new enemies. The Craighheart had finished his turn entirely at the time, because we had gone ahead and healed first and then attacked, and then which then took out the door, which then forces and opens the door, which then forces all of this stuff to spawn, which means the Night Demon needs to go ahead and have a card pull for him. So according to the rules, we're going to have to find out where in the initiative order he falls, and where these Night Demons are going to go. This is where things get ugly, because it isn't the end of the round, and that's why it's tough. So technically there's still the Deep Terrors left to go. So because of that, these Night Terrors or Night Demons are going to be going this turn, and they're at 35. So they definitely will be going right away, and that's going to cause us a little bit of grief right away. So the Night Demons, what they got was an attack 1, a -1, a pierce. Hey, actually, you know what? That's not bad, because they didn't get any, they don't have any range, and they also don't have any movement. So that means they're doing all those attacks and all that consuming, but it really doesn't matter because none of that stuff applies. We're not close enough to them to be affected by it. So the one other thing I want to do quickly before we keep going with the rest of the enemies is the Craighheart had finished his turn, blown the door. We revealed this room. I do want to use my minor stamina potion at this point, by the way, same as I did with the Tinker, to bring these cards back into my hand, because I'm going to try to at all costs resist losing cards. So that's one way I can prevent it. I also have the ability to go invisible, which is technically probably a good idea. And the reason it's a good idea is because I can get both these characters, like, hopefully to here, like maybe here and here. And then, you know, I've got a better shot at getting out of here. I don't want to get caught around the door area and have to fight through the traps. So I'm going to have the Craighheart he's going to go invisible. And I should have done this before I went ahead with talking with the Night Demons. But I'm going to go ahead and make him invisible, so that, again, he's also disappearing into the shadows the same as the Tinker did. So both of them are gone now. So the Craighheart is here. And so again, Night Demons, they didn't do anything on the turn. Deep Terrors are going to do an attack from range 3, but they cannot focus on anything as nothing's there except for the summon, and he's too far away, so we're golden. So nothing happens across any of the enemies. That's essentially the end of this round. And guys, when the end of the round comes, guess what we get to do? We get to pull a number. So we're going to pull a number and see what happens. We got a 5. Okay, so where are the 5s on this map? Now, here's the fun part. I ran out of rocks. I know it's kind of funny, but I literally don't have any more rocks on me. Too many rocks on the board. Oh, sorry. No, I got one more rock right here, so we can use that. So we're going to go ahead and use a rock. Now, where's the most, let's see, 5. A 5 drops here, for instance. So 1 rock drops there. A 2 rock ends up dropping right here. So I'll put the rubble tokens there because I'm running out of rocks. It actually kind of looks cool having the different ones in there. And then we'll have a single one drops up here on top of the coin. So now there's an obstacle on top of the coin, which means I can't even get the coin anymore. I don't even know what happens in that case, but there's no way I can pick that coin up unless I don't even know. The coin probably disappears. I have no idea how that works. That's actually an interesting rule thing to look up too, is what happens when an obstacle just drops on top of a coin? Does it get destroyed, or can you even still pick it up? There's something everyone can dive into in terms of the FAQs and stuff and let me know. Not that it matters too much in this scenario, but just out of curiosity. In terms of everything else, we're good. I think we got, there's two single 5 spots and then a double, and we're good. So we covered everything and we didn't get hit, so that's a plus. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's the end of the round. Like I said, there's nothing to wane down. Short resting is useless because we used our minor stamina potions on both characters. We're both invisible. We got a lot of enemies here, a lot of traps. These traps, by the way, as specified by the scenario, are considered poison and damage traps. So they're not only they're gonna do some nasty stuff to us. Now the weird thing is there, I'm just noticing, is that that is a stun symbol. So I think that was done in error from what I'm understanding. The poison does not look like that. The poison is a skull with eyes crossed, like the one in the dark gray there. So I think that was a mistake because I'm gonna go by what's in the wording versus the visual there. Yeah, so you get poisoned if you run through one of those, and also get damage traps, which are nasty. So again, all we got to do is get to one of these spots here and be exhausted. If we exhaust in one of these spots, then we still apparently survive the scenario. So we just got to get there. And we're close. So we're gonna go for it, we're gonna gun it. The one thing I'm gonna check in between here, because there was no shuffling to be done, miraculously the Tinkerer hasn't gotten a shuffle card yet, even though he's gone through a ton of attacks. Craghart's in the same boat, nothing for the monsters. The one thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna double check an opposing strike to figure out where the heck that marker was, because I know you guys likely know, but I bumped it when I was grabbing stuff for the box. I don't know where it is now. So I will get that straightened away. There's nothing to shuffle monsters wise. We're good to go. So in the next video, we are going to be moving into the 7th round, knowing that on the 10th round, this tile will be disappearing. All right, guys, we're doing all right. We busted through that massive boulder. We're chasing after Barty. Let's see if we can pull this off. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and keep on rolling solo.